Hey everyone, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video, and welcome back to another reaction and review. And this is to the second episode of The Amazing Digital Circus, which is... darn it, the video... shoot. Candy Carrier Chaos. And I saw, like, a thumbnail that showed an 18-wheeler in the video, and I was like, what? So... of course, this looks so interesting already. I am so super excited. Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. Let's not waste any more time. Let's dive into the second episode of Amazing Digital Circus. Let's go. Let's go. Mario style. Starting video. 3, 2, 1, click. Now, after my last reaction, someone told me that they had improved animation for this. For the second episode. Not really sure how. It looked great in the first episode. She's streaming.
Hello?
Whoa. Wow.
Kate! Somebody help me! Please!
Looks like our new friend's already abstracted.
Well, I guess we're not all cut out for it.
I don't even remember her name, honestly.
Hey, Pomni, how'd you sleep? Are you still sleeping? I'll let you get back to it if you are. There she is. Hope you're doing all right. I know yesterday was a bit of a doozy.
A doozy.
Oh, and don't worry about the whole abandoning me for the exit thing. It's perfectly understandable what you were going through at the time, and there's no hard feelings. You're all good. Well, let's forget about all that. Kane's got a new adventure today, and judging by what he's been teasing, it seems like it's gonna be a fun one.
Oh boy.
Today's adventure is Candy Carrier Chaos! That's right. The Candy Canyon Kingdom's been robbed of their most valuable resource, maple syrup! It's up to you to bring the rotten bandits who stole it to sweet, buttery justice.
What?
An entire kingdom of candy sounds sticky.
Very sticky indeed.
Sounds
Bubble, you can't say that.
No.
Silver White! I'm testing out a new AI in this one. It should be 57 times more immersive.
Ooh, a new AI. You don't want to mess with the new AI, Zuby?
Yeah, no. Well, sounds fun. What do you think, Pomni?
so. Our entire existence here is just LARPing.
Well,
Why are you all just standing there? The Candy Canyon Kingdom needs you now.
No thanks, I'm trying to quit.
Oh! Cool. Wow. Oh. Cool. They actually really
wow,
did.
Kinger, check out this castle. It's amazing.
They've even got little candy bugs here. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this place is great!
It's the princess!
Ah,
must be the brave knight sent to us by God to help us with our recent catastrophe.
That's us, ma'am. Your kingdom's awesome, by the way. Love the vibe.
I like you already.
Look, Pomni, we're already friends with the princess.
I'm not a child. You don't have to hype me up.
I assume you've been informed of your mission. The bandits that robbed us use a modded syrup tanker, so we figured the best way to go head-to-head with them is to give you a war rig of your own.
Ooh, violence.
What time period is this supposed to be again?
Here's the key back into the kingdom for when you've secured
Mad
the
Max?
goods. I trust you not to let it fall into the wrong hands.
You can count on me, Your Highness.
Oh, please. Call me Lou.
Will do, Lou.
I call shotgun. Oh God, is that the horn? Ugh, that sucks. Gangle, you drive.
That looks like...
Farewell, good knights. I have every faith in you.
That looks... Gangle can drive. That looks like a Kenworth T600A. It definitely has a Kenworth T600 look to it. Could also be a Western
You
Star.
think your mum's gonna pull through if we get all this back to the village?
I'm sure she will. This much syrup would save hundreds of people.
We won't know for sure until we get back to the village. She's a fighter, though. She taught me everything I know.
Okay.
Oi! Don't get too comfy, lads. Looks like they've sent someone after us.
There's...
All right, Gangle. When we catch up to them, I'll jump over, crawl inside, and shoot them repeatedly until they're unrecognizable.
I feel like that violates some kind of convention.
You're violating my ears with your clapback. Get driving, driver.
Is that a sawed-off double barrel?
I'm sure there's some way you could help out here. Maybe when we catch up to them, we could...
Gotta be assertive. Like this.
Hey! Jax!
Whoa! Go, boy.
Ah, that's perfect. Just hold that pose. I gotta get something.
Jax, you...
You know, I swear there was some kind of bazooka back here, but I'm having such trouble finding it.
Pomni, take this!
Here it is. All right, Pomni. You just stay like that, and I'll cross over.
Are you kidding me?
Nice going, Pomni. Now I have no bridge.
Aha! Gotcha! The arms aren't long enough.
This lot's trouble. Let's see how that rig does on those rocks around there. My arms aren't short enough to shift the gear.
Seriously? Right.
Ooh, now we're cooking. Hey, Ribbons, up and at 'em.
I don't think we...
Aren't you supposed to be submissive and agreeable? Move it!
It doesn't even move.
Oh, these fellas just don't know when to quit, do they? Hey, quit mucking about and get back up here!
Oh yeah, right.
Everyone all right?
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear you over the knives.
Hey, Gangle, we should ram into him.
What? You should not ram them. Pomni's still on board.
Do it, it'll be epic.
Why are there so many knives back here?
Do it, or I'll tell Ragatha about the figurine thing.
These guys are whack jobs. Let's give him some of this.
Oh, crap.
Oh, no more ramming? Guess I have to tell Ragatha about the thing now.
Oh, you're still up here.
Pomni, take this!
That's a bad idea.
Hey, Kinger, is that rope attached to anything?
I don't know. Let me check.
Oh! She's a ragdoll. I'm sure she's fine. Go! And we just went the old...
I blame you for this.
No! You clipped through the... Yep! You clipped through the scenery! This is like the developer room. Where they store the models. This is a developer room, like, where they store all the models of the characters. They're T-posing.
Where are we? What's all this?
I don't know. We're somewhere under the map, I think.
Map? Why aren't you or any of your crew up here?
I'm not sure. Because we're not, NPCs?
NPCs? What are you on about? What are you people? What am I? Where's Mum?
You have a mom?
Shouldn't she be here with everyone else? I can't even remember her face. Did she ever have a face? Was anything ever real?
Okay, wait, don't think about that. I think there must be a way to launch ourselves back up, right?
I want you to tell me exactly what I am.
Ooh, is everybody okay?
No.
Why do you need a
Oh man.
sweet roll
Poor Pomni.
tanker?
I hope she's all right.
Poor Pomni? How about poor us? We're one tanker away from being Augustus Gloop.
Oh, there's the...
What's that? Do my eyes deceive me? A delicious gift from within the kingdom gates? Don't mind if I do.
Whoa, buddy! We're not food, we're not candy, we're none of that! You don't want to eat us!
Oh, not candy? How am I expected to eat something that's not made of candy? I'm sorry.
Part of me always seems to miss the big gloopy monsters.
Who are you, anyway?
I am the Fudge. I used to live within the kingdom walls, but I was banished by that rotten princess after I ate too many of the delicious townfolk. Oh, they were so delicious. Sometimes I can hear them calling to me.
Oh, God. That just sounds like murder.
Is it really murder if it's delicious? Answer me that.
You make a great point.
No, bad point!
Why don't you leave this to me before I start thinking your hair looks like licorice?
Jax!
Oh wow, it kinda does.
Stop!
Well, Mr. Fudge, you seem like an upstanding guy with real noble goals.
Oh, I'm not. If you knew what I did in my free time, oh, you'd be sickened.
As I was saying, I happen to know a way into the kingdom walls. If you'd be willing to help us out in return.
Hey, when did you...
Shut up, licorice hair.
Here, have it with this.
Oh, you must be some kind of master of unlocking things. Come to free me from my outdoor prison.
That's me. All we need you to do is help us bring some dirty bandits to justice.
Never mind, you're good.
I saw the Reaper wink at me.
Wait, what just happened?
Okay, they honestly really did improve the facial expressions here. That's the same truck. It's not moving.
You want to try helping out at all? Or are you still...
Having an existential crisis?
Hey, you okay?
No.
You want to talk about it?
What is there to talk about?
I don't just want to leave you here.
Why not? I don't matter in the slightest. I'm nothing. My life, my memories, my friends. It's all fake.
Palm
This may seem weird, but I think I know the feeling. Well, maybe not the exact feeling, but feeling like you're nothing is kind of normal. I mean, people even feel like that in the world I came from. But you still care about your buddies up there, don't you? I'm sure they still care about you.
What does it matter? What do we have when you people leave? We're just obstacles. Created to be defeated and forgotten.
Well, you don't have to be. The circus, the place I'm from, well, I'm originally from somewhere else. But if it has to be my home, maybe it can be yours too. The people there are interesting, at the very least. Maybe you could be somebody real there.
Why are you trying to cheer me up? How does this benefit you at all?
I guess I just don't want you to feel like you're nothing. I don't want anybody to feel like that.
But I'm not even a real person. Would I even belong?
I'm sure you wouldn't belong any less than me. And I could use a friend.
A friend? You're a strange little character. Suppose I could give it a try. All I ask is that we don't tell the lads about this. They're a couple of bright-eyed yobbos, and I don't want to drag them down with me.
Yeah, that makes sense. What's your name, by the way?
Gummigoo.
Wow, that's just about as dumb as my name.
What do you have in mind in terms of getting us out of here?
I don't know. Maybe some kind of glitch with the truck's collisions. I'm not really sure how we could. Alright, I'm just throwing stuff at the wall here. If this doesn't work, we can try something else.
You're the expert here.
I'm really not. But let's see how it goes. I just realized this might be a little violent.
Honestly, this is my favorite episode. It's so beautiful, it really is. And Pomni's just so sweet and adorable.
Gotta say, this is a lot more anticlimactic than I was hoping it'd be.
What were you hoping for?
You know, like one big final battle, bloodshed, death, chaos, whatever.
Are you sure they disappeared? It wasn't that they fell off or something?
I can't say for sure, but yes, definitely.
It's not like the boss to vanish with a clown. Very unusual.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, if worst comes to worst, we could always ask Kane to find her.
I'm more worried she's having another horrible experience. She still seems really upset about what happened yesterday. I don't think she really likes me that much.
It's a lot for anybody to go through. Don't take it too personally. I remember how long it took for you to adjust.
Oh, yeah. I'm surprised you remember that.
Remember what?
Do you guys have a second truck that flies?
Yeah. Wait, no, we don't. No, not at all.
Down I go.
couldn't keep it in, could we?
What's all this stuff?
Mommy! Are you okay? Well, what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. I made a new friend.
Boss, where have you been? We got fudged.
You don't want to know. Good to see you, lads.
Why are there 2 bad guy trucks?
This one's full of syrup too.
Oh, yeah. Suppose it is. Well, you don't suppose my mates here could take this one back to the village, could they?
I guess. Since there's 2 of them, there'd be no real harm.
I'm so unbelievably disappointed right now.
Well, maybe there'll be blood, death, and violence in the next adventure.
Ha 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 ha, how wholesome.
Uh-oh, yeah. This is Gummigoo. He's gonna come back to the circus with us.
Oh, is that allowed?
His reality was kind of completely shattered. I feel like it was the least I could offer him, opposed to just leaving him behind.
Hey, that's good of you, Pomni.
Let's take this dumb truck to the dumb kingdom, I guess.
Thanks to you brave knights, our kingdom will once again thrive. I'm sure it was no easy task.
You have no idea.
Farewell, brave knights. Have fun executing that bandit fella.
Yes, that is what we're doing.
Oh, hey, maybe I didn't leave the gate unlocked for nothing after all.
What? I thought he was dead. You still did that?
Okay, wait. You did what now?
Well, love to help you again sometime. Bye!
Welcome back, my little hard-shelled hamburgers.
So this is the circus, huh? I gotta get used to this.
Oh, looks like one of these guys made it through.
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
I know you guys love your NPCs, but if I start losing track of who's a human and who's an NPC, who knows what could happen? Well, I'm gonna go drink water. It's been a while since I've done that.
Sheesh, I thought he'd never leave. I'm really sorry about that, Pomni. At least you tried. You know, he might be back in a future adventure. I know Kane sometimes likes to reuse NPCs.
Got everything ready.
Hey, you at least want to join us for Kaufmo's funeral? We like to have a little funeral service to remember the people who abstract. This one just got pushed around a bit with your arrival and everything.
It's the least we can do to honor their memory.
Oh man, I always think I'm prepared for these things, but then you set up the picture and, well, I'm already breaking.
It's already over? Darn it! It's such adorable art. It really is such cute art. And I love the saxophone, man. I'm a sucker for jazz. Need this as a wallpaper. It's so sweet. Oh man. Okay, that I gotta say that. Okay, please. I'd stop with the laptop notifications. Okay, please stop. Just freaking stop, man. I don't need notifications every time you blow your nose. Jeez. Okay. This is so far is my favorite episode of Amazing Digital Circus. It is absolutely my favorite episode of the show so far. And there's a lot, honestly, to take in. Now, someone did tell me that they had improved animation with this, and I can see it. I can see it, honestly. The characters have a bit more smooth, of a smoother-like sort of appearance, or more of a blend, if you will. But the characters, like Pomni's facial expressions, is definitely one thing that sticks out to me. It definitely really improved here. She shows a lot more realism with her facial expressions. I mean, just really great job. It really is. And I think all the characters is actually improved. And here, I didn't think that it could get better than what it was in the first episode, but I was wrong. It's so much better in this one. And there's honestly a lot to take in with this here. And so I'm going to kind of analyze a few different. I'm going to try to analyze things sort of one at a time here. Okay. In the start of the episode, Pomni is already having a nightmare of her abstracting, and she's also having a nightmare of. And I gotta say, the voice acting here is so phenomenal. It's so amazingly well done. It is absolutely phenomenal. And it's as Pomni begins to sink into the abyss, she has this nightmare that everybody is forgetting her. And she's basically becoming some of these things around her. And, like, in all honesty, this honestly is definitely a relatable feeling. This is her straight up anxiety. Unless there's more to it, and this actually isn't her anxiety playing into this. But I would say this is very much realistic. You know, this is very much realistic because I have bad anxiety. And I have a lot of, I don't know if you could call them dreams, but I have a lot of dreams or nightmares that play into those anxieties. I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times I dream about being at work and I could just hit myself with a brick because of it. And I've had nightmares of stuff that have happened to with people around me, and it's that anxiety playing into that. They really do a good job here, although this is a bit more simplified. But there's also Pomni is feeling lost here, abandoned by those around her. And this is an interesting contrast because at the end of the episode we see that Pomni seems to be kind of warming up to everybody and beginning to feel a little bit more friendly towards them. But here she's feeling kind of abandoned by everybody. This is extremely realistic and very, very relatable. And this scene here with Pomni in the doorway is one of those examples of the improved facial animation and expressions. It's really, really well done. And I really have to give, and I really give credit. I mean, I love my favorite characters in this show is Pomni and Ragatha. They're my two favorite characters in the show. And Ragatha there's a lot of depth to her as a character. And she made the remark to Pomni, you know, don't worry, you know, that you left me behind, you know, it's totally fine, you know, we're good. I feel like, and then we go back to King later on in the episode whenever he had a very sane very coherent moment, very intelligent moment where he told Ragatha that he remembered whenever she was new, how long it took her to adjust. And I think that maybe Ragatha has also, she's trying to be, she wants to be and is trying to be as friendly and easy with Pomni as she can, because she does remember how it was for her, and she wants Pomni to have an easier transition than she did. There's also the anxiety that she mentioned in the first episode, and so if she doesn't try to let things go and she dwells on things, it's going to cause a lot of problems later on. Like, it's pretty much going to cause you to go sink into a deep depression, and so, you know, that's kind of what we're seeing here with her. But it's funny, it's funny that Pomni makes a mention that, like, their whole existence here is just LARPing. Girl, nothing wrong with that. As a geek can confirm, there's nothing wrong with it. And again, I love the facial expressions here, very much improved. Pomni still, like, this is literally just the next day after. This hasn't been a couple days or a few days or a week. This is literally the day after. And so that was her first night's sleep. Honestly, I can see her not having a good night's sleep. And something that kind of clicked in my head here is all of these sort of dolls or little wooden I don't want to, well, I was going to say marionettes, but these little dolls that they have. It's interesting how these are both an easy way. These kind of make for a fun double-edged sword in terms of of how they're used. By using these, you don't have to waste a bunch of time trying to create a bunch of background characters with different appearances, or even recopying the models or anything like that. You can literally reuse the same models with these and just recolor them, and it works for what they're doing here. And so it gives you an excuse to get to reuse the same models and not waste time trying to create individual character models for all these background characters. But it also kind of works because that's what they're supposed to be. These are background characters. They're non-important background characters. They don't have a backstory. It's nothing you're ever going to find out. So why care? You know, like, why care? And so it's a fun double, like I said, it's a fun double whammy, because it's an easy way to not have any details for the characters, but it also works great because these are background characters. You're not going to see them anymore. You know, it's like background characters in some video games or other TV shows or movies or whatever. You know, you're not going to see them anymore unless they're really popular characters. MLP, for example. But otherwise, you're never going to see them, so who gives a flip if you never do? And again, like I said, this truck, I love how it goes from like a medieval type to like a Mad Max, literally Mad Max thing. I love it. It's so hilarious to me. But they did such a great job with the model of this truck. I mean, honestly, the shape of the grille. I know my trucks, okay? I'm going to say this it is very similar to a Kenworth T600A. It could also be a Western Star. Oh, or Western. Oh, okay. Could be that Western Star 5900. Okay, so the truck could be a Kenworth T600A, or it's a Western Star 59X, or sorry, a Western Star 5900. It's not a brand new truck, but they did honestly a really great job with this because they modeled the grille, the headlights. They got the little dip in the doors that you used to be able to see the side mirrors. This thing has no side mirrors on it, and it has a sleeper cab. It's not a day rig. It's not a day cab. It's a full-on sleeper, and it looks like it has an air conditioning unit on the top, and it has the curved stacks on the back of it. They did such a great job with the model of this thing. I freaking love it. Even has this, the 5 roof marker lights on it with the twin. Actually, it has additional roof marker lights on top of the sleeper. It has the grab rails right here on it, and it has the twin horns on it, which is super hilarious. I also love the fact that these characters are just suddenly supposed to know how to freaking drive this thing. Like, they're just supposed to know how to drive this thing after having never driven an 18-wheeler before in their life. I love that. And now I have been seeing some fan art of this little Gummigoo gator, which is a fun little character. And these are... I'm wondering if this main gator is a bit inspired by the crocodile hunter, because he's a crocodile. He has an Australian accent, or rather an outback accent. And the truck that they're driving is totally... It's funny that Pomni and crew are using a American style 18-wheeler. These guys are using an Australian style truck. Something similar to what they would have used off-roading, I think. But the sleeper, there's no seats in the sleeper. And the fact that Jax just casually pulls out a double-barrel sawed-off shotgun is freaking hilarious. I mean, yeah, you can't tell me that this wasn't inspired by Mad Max in some way. And the action scene with him chasing this other truck, once again, is just freaking hilarious. I love it. It's so fun. It really is so fun. And again, like I said, Pomni's facial expressions are getting so much better in this. It's so good. And Pomni almost got, well, penetrated by a gummy spike. And Ragatha getting stabbed. I mean, it's just like, well, this is a mighty inconvenient thing, isn't it? I mean, it's funny. She's a ragdoll. She's fine. I mean, these are all, like, fictional characters, so I don't think it's going to take a lot to kill them. But again, she's just like, oh dear. Kind of reminds me of Olaf in Frozen 2. Oh, look. I've been impaled. It's just so casual. Just like, oh, everyday thing, And this scene where the truck is falling, it kind of makes me think a little bit of the movie Duel. A little bit. And the scene where the truck begins to completely glitch beneath everything and then gets absolutely yeeted into nothing. Yeah, this is so much like a video game. This is so much like a video game. Where glitches like that happen and they just get completely yeeted into nowhere. This segment here where this guy accidentally stumbles upon like the developer room and he sees everything and he begins to have a complete existential crisis, wondering what he is. Also, the chocolate monster, I'm having some considering this is Ragatha, this kind of makes me think of the chocolate monster in the Raggedy Ann and Andy film. Yeah, this makes me think of... It's ironic that this uses Ragatha. This kind of makes me think about the segment with the Greedy from the Raggedy Ann and Andy film from 1977, where the monster wants a candy heart. This also makes me think about the Great Mighty Pooh from Conker's Quest, or that was the original. Conker's Bad Fur Day. This kind of makes me think about that as well. And honestly, I cannot say enough about this segment between Pomni and Gummigoo in this void. This interaction between them where he's questioning just everything about himself, his life, his memories, everything. He's wondering, is it all fake? Is all of it just fake? And he realizes is everything fake. He's just going to disappear because he's not actually there. He's just part of this little NPC thing. And then Pomni, she can relate. She's feels like that here, and she can relate to what he's experiencing. And she also knows that she's been having a difficult time trying to adjust to everything that's been going on, and now here she is trying to comfort someone else. I think in a way, yeah, that can actually help somebody out. In cases with Pomni, it's easy enough to think that your situation is bad or something that you're going through is difficult, but then whenever you see somebody else struggling with something and you start trying to help them out, you kind of put aside what you're going through because you want to try to be there for them and try to help them out. And so suddenly what you're dealing with doesn't really matter as much because you're just trying to help them. And the facial expressions and just the interaction, I mean, it's just so incredibly well done. I cannot say enough here about how wonderful this is. The voice acting did such a great job. And honestly, one thing that I really have to give them props for here is there was no music playing. And they could have chosen to have a sad song playing, but at this point, just hearing the echo within this void of their voices as they're just talking like this, it honestly just makes it so impactful and really helps you to, it really drives home the emotions that the characters are experiencing. And it's so funny to me, but just mind-blowingly awesome that we have this kind of writing in a independent, more like an animation, this kind of emotion that can be displayed, but yet you have these big productions. Now, I'm not saying there aren't big productions that cannot do stuff like this, but there are times whenever you have a big production that cannot actually do the type of emotion that they've achieved here. And so that's why this is such a beautiful scene. Like, Pomni is trying her best, and she's not capable. I mean, it's so interesting because she's not mentally or emotionally capable of doing this. I mean, but she's trying anyway. I mean, she doesn't know really what she's doing, but she doesn't want to see him sad. And I think whenever she tells him, he asks her, why are you doing this? What do you get out of this? And she tells him she doesn't want him to feel like he's nothing. And I think, could this be, and now this is just a theory, there's a few different ways that this could be interpreted. The first is she is just simply talking about him. She doesn't want him to feel like he's nothing. The second is she's also comparing him in a way to her, because here in this new world, she feels like she's nothing, and she doesn't want him to feel the same way. Kind of in a similar parallel to how Ragatha doesn't want Pomni to have to go through the harsh transition that she did. And that's why, Ragatha's trying to help Pomni out. So here, pay it forward, Pomni is trying to help him out. But it also could be maybe something from her past, because we don't know what Pomni's past was. We know she put on a headset and boom, she found herself in this world. We don't know how things were for her. Maybe she has a bit of a memory here for how things used to be. But that's just a theory, because she originally didn't remember who she was or anything like that. So I don't think she does remember who she was before. She's just simply comparing how she feels in this world to Gummy Gator here, and so she's trying to help him out. And the voice acting, is just blows my mind at how well the voice acting is for this, and how just Pomni is such a well-written character. She's adorable, she's sweet, and she's a fun character. She has a lot of depth and honest realism to her. I mean, she's sweet, she's compassionate, and she's funny, she's quirky, and she's not afraid to voice her opinion, just like she did trying to cuss Jax out earlier. But she's such a really good character, and honestly, Gummy's a fun character too. The voice acting for him is great. And something else here is just how he also cared about his mates. He didn't want to tell them about this discovery because he didn't want them to go through the same existential crisis as him. And I gotta say, he's a well-written character. Gummy Gator here is a well-written character too, because he wants to spare them from the same pain and the existential crisis that he was going through, of questioning everything, and he doesn't want them to go through that. And it's so really well done, and it really shows. And we did get a bit of a backstory for him, for him wanting to save his mom and such. And so he's not a bad guy. It's one of those do something bad for a good reason. It's kind of like a Robin Hood style thing, I guess you want to say. He was kind of like the Robin Hood of this, There is one thing that I kind of will notice here, and maybe it's that way, is how Pomni put the key on the left side of the steering wheel. Now, that's interesting, because I'm not really sure about some Australian vehicles, depending. I know a lot of American made vehicle, a lot of vehicles in general, does have the key on the ignition. Does have the key on the column. Some vehicles do have them on the dash. Some older vehicles did have them on the dash, and a few newer vehicles do too. With modern vehicles, you also have the push button start. Now, some vehicles did have them on the left side. One vehicle, I believe, that had it on the left side of the steering wheel was the 69 Dodge Polara, and I think the 59 Plymouth Savoy did have it on this side. Not sure. Now, some other vehicles, of course, that was back in the 50s and the 60s. Not sure how old or new this truck is supposed to be, but again, it's interesting that she reaches to the left side. So I'm not sure if it's on the left side of the column, on the left side of, or on the dash, but it looks like could be on the dash. Now, one thing I kind of want to note here is this little interaction between them. Pomni looks at Gummy Gator, and he looks at her, and then looks away out the window very quickly after. And Pomni's not looking at him anymore. Almost like they're kind of shy here. So, little romance, maybe? Although I'm sure some people was probably shipping. I've been seeing enough fan art. Some people ship Pomni and Jax. Some people ship Jax. And some people do ship Pomni and Gummy Gator. Some people ship Jax and Ragatha. I'm not really sure who I ship right now at the moment. So, I mean, I can see this pairing right here. Easily can. Especially, I can really see this, honestly. And it does make more sense to me. And I'm just throwing this out there. The pairing of Pomni and Gummy Gator does work better. Because, to be completely truthful, Jax hasn't been the most respectful or caring of Pomni's well-being. So, yeah, I can kind of see that. Now, one interesting little thing here is whenever I just noticed there's a UFO in the sky. I think that's a UFO. I could be wrong. But Ragatha is conversing with King and makes her... And she honestly cares about Pomni. She really does. And she's afraid of what Pomni is going through. She admits that she's more worried that Pomni's having another experience, something that will affect her negatively. And she makes some remark that she doesn't think that Pomni likes her all that much. And And we can see on her, you know, she's saddened by this. I mean, she wants Pomni to be more open. She actually wants to be closer friends to Pomni, of course, you know, and it bothers her, but she's also afraid of what Pomni could be going through. And we see this little moment with King, which is really cool, where he does admit that he remembers how long it took for Ragatha to adjust, and she still remembers it. And of course that memory kind of slipped back from King, and he went back to being his normal goofy self. But it's hilarious. Poor Pomni. This is the second time this girl has completely puked. The dude's like, yeah, you couldn't keep, and then he loses it as well. Like, it just affected him the same way. It's so hilarious. And this little moment where Pomni does reveal that she's bringing the gummy gator back with her, and we see Ragatha thinks it's very cool. It's very awesome of Pomni to do that. Of course, Jax still wants a big epic thing to transpire, but... And the horrors that poor Pomni has experienced upon returning back to the circus. Poor Gummy Gator is just exploded in confetti. Now we get another little bit of interesting backstory here. Cain makes the remark that if he let basically too many NPCs roam around, that he would lose track of who's a human and who is an NPC. And he's not sure what could happen. And we get like this moment where it appears that this may have happened before. One theory that I had was that Cain, sure, was the creator of all of this, but he got trapped in there. He got trapped in there, and so he started feeling lonely. And so he somehow was able to pull other people into the world with him so that he wouldn't be lonely. And now he's been there long enough that he kind of not really... he doesn't want others to leave. Maybe he can't leave. Maybe he was imprisoned here and he can't leave. I'm not really sure. There's a lot more to Cain's backstory. But it's interesting that they have a funeral for Kaufmo that we never see at all. Poor dude. He bit the dust early on. Now we see a little glimpse as Pomni is listening to everyone talk about Kaufmo. We see this little segment where she's kind of reflecting back on her nightmare. And originally she was falling in that darkness. And here we actually see Ragatha, Jax, and the other squiggly character, I forgot her name, I'm sorry, grab Pomni's hand. And it's like pretty symbolic. It's basically saying that they're there for her. You know, they are there for her. They're not going to let her fall and sink into that darkness. And we see this little smile come upon Pomni's face as she kind of begins to realize that maybe these folks are there for her. And maybe she's starting to warm up to them. You know, and they're not going to let her fall. And it's really, really cool. It really is sweet. Zubul. That was the name. No, Gangle. Sorry, Gangle. Sorry, had to look at the names. Yeah, Gangle. Let's see. Gummigoo, Jack Hawkins. Okay. But yeah, this was such a good episode. I mean, there's a lot going on with this, in all honesty. There's so much going on in this. Pomni is still adjusting to being in this new this new world. She's adjusting to everything, but she's not really sure how to process anything, and she kind of just gets thrown into this new adventure here. And this is so far my favorite episode. I mean, I love the first episode, but this is so far my favorite episode because the use of the 18-wheeler is just freaking boss. And I love the fact that the whole interaction between Pomni and Gummigoo was just so sweet and so heartfelt. And it's very much relatable. I mean, it's so relatable. It doesn't have to be in a video game or, you know, there are times in life where you kind of feel like an NPC in real life. You know, where you don't feel important. You think, what am I doing? You know, what's the point? What am I doing? Does anything matter? And Pomni is one of those people who kind of helps, who has went through something similar or is going through something similar, and they can help you to come back through that darkness. And it's not just that, it's so interesting because Pomni herself is trying to process everything that's going on, and originally her nightmare was that everyone was going to turn their backs on her, but in that segment, which we didn't see in her dream, or in her nightmare, at the end of the episode we see every one of them, we see Jax, Gangle, and Ragatha grab hold of Pomni's hand. It's like they're not going to let her fall into the darkness. And that's whenever Pomni smiled, because she was trying to warm up to them. I mean, because she started to feel closer to them. And here, while even though she's going through all this stuff emotionally and mentally, she's still trying to help Gummigoo and help him through what he's going through. And honestly, that takes a lot of character. That takes a lot of strength. It really does. It really, really does. And they did such a wonderful job. And I felt so bad for Pomni, because I honestly thought Gummigoo was going to go back into the circus and start being there, but nope. He got poofed out of existence. And it really affected Pomni. And I was honestly expecting her to just like grab Kane and say, bring him back. Bring him back. But she didn't. She just kind of stood there like, what? And, you know, it just kind of began to break her. And I'm wondering, now that they've left that world, does everything kind of reset? Would Gummigoo even remember her now? You know, or what? And if, and that's also something interesting, they were all NPCs, sure. But that does bring up an interesting thing. We know that Pomni was a human. Ragatha was a human. King, Jax, Gangle, the other character, Kaufmo, were all human apparently at some point, and where they were pulled into this world. So far, the other NPCs that we've seen have been Gummigoo, his mates, the trucks, the other monster, the moat monster, and the other background NPCs. Are there other NPCs that exist from other worlds? Very curious about that. So I'm really curious what's going to happen. I love this. You know, I love Amazing Digital Circus. It's such a fun show. The animation is definitely improved. It's awesome. It's phenomenal. Like I said, Pomni and Ragatha are my favorite characters in the show. And Jax is hilarious because, like, dude just wants an action film with murder, death, and blood and violence and everything. That's what he wants. He would totally fit in with the Mad Max scene, you know. But like, where the heck did he get a shotgun? Where the heck did he get a double barrel shotgun, sawed off shotgun? Don't know. That again, it felt like Mad Max because, you know, he just pulled the shotgun out and he never fired the thing. Never fired the thing. Honestly, did he fire the bazooka either? I don't know. I don't think he did. But it's so, it's honestly hilarious. It's like he's the zany one. You know, he's like, yo, let's dive out of this plane without a parachute, you know. Or no, he would be the kind that he would push somebody out of the plane without a parachute, and then Jax would be the kind of person that would say, are you kidding? I'm wearing my parachute, you know. But again, I love this. It's such a fun series. I love it, and I love the whole interaction between Pomni and Gummigoo was just gorgeous. It was so beautifully done. The voice acting was just phenomenal. And again, I love that there was no music playing during that segment. It was just the echo of their voices. And so I know at the current time of me doing this, the 4th episode recently dropped. So definitely have to, I don't have but like 2 episodes left. And I think there's like a mini episode or something, or a couple of mini things that I can also check out. But hopefully, Lord willing, I can do those as well. But I'm really excited to see what progresses. Really am. I know Murder Drone supposedly ended after 8 episodes. But I'm wondering if this may continue up to 8 episodes, or if this could actually go further. I'm not sure. But again, I'm really excited. I love this. This is so far my favorite episode of Amazing Digital Circus. But I love both episodes, man. But this is my favorite one. But again, thanks again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And again, to everybody behind the scenes of making this, everybody, all the animators, the character designers, the voice actors, the Foley artists, the musicians, thank you guys so much. You did such a phenomenal job. The writers, you guys did such an amazing job with this. This is such a great series. It is just phenomenal. I love it. So thank you to all of you. And thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for suggesting this. I'm glad you enjoyed this, me starting the series. And thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction as well as my theories and review. And my analysis too. But again, thank you guys again for joining me. Hope you guys enjoyed. And hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. To take care, God bless, and see you next time. Later.